Hello, everybody. Wednesday, 6:24. Disclaimer, whenever you have a chance, please read it. I talk a lot about real estate in my last couple of videos, but there is another aspect of my investorship, if you will, that I wanted to talk about today. I'm a chemist by trade, and I used to live in the Bay Area with my wife. I took the train to work daily. It took about 30 minutes one way. So I read a lot. One of the books I loved was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I read this book and it changed my life. The book teaches you to think, how can I? It opens your minds to possibilities versus the thought of, I can't. If you say I can't, your mind shuts down and you don't think of possibilities. So the step one is think, how can I? Step two is look for opportunities daily, just like going to the gym. Once you work these muscles, your mental muscles, in terms of how can I, looking for solutions and looking for opportunities, the world changes. The world's your oyster. You're constantly looking for opportunities. So one day I saw an ad in our apartment mailboxes. If someone wants to rent their apartment, which at the time was 100% owner occupied, here is an opportunity I saw. Instead of 100% owner occupied, they wanted to pivot to 30% rentals and 70% ownership. So I brought in my application and was approved immediately. I was probably one of the first applications in. Next, I saw this opportunity as, here is a way not just to work my 9 to 5, as my other video has mentioned, in terms of primary income. Now I'm looking for my secondary income, which would be my rental property. So I was very excited. So once we got approved, I put an ad out on Craigslist for a renter. After posting the ad, I had about 25 applicants within 48 hours. Most had credit scores above 700. My wife and I looked at each other and knew we hit something big. I just couldn't believe the demand. So the next slide will show not just opportunity, but also resourcefulness. So we bought our first studio. We had it for a period of time. Then all of a sudden, I was able to rent it. So we signed a 1-year lease. Fantastic. So then we looked around and we found a second studio. And now just to backtrack, a studio in the Bay Area during this time was about $175,000, which was a lot of money for us. If you wanted a 1-bedroom at $100,000, if you wanted a 2-bedroom at another $100,000, if you wanted a house built in 1963 with a shag rug, it was about $1 million. So it was out of our reach. So we bought our second studio. Life was going good. A couple months go by, and my wife is pregnant with twins. So the studio was just too small for us. So what happened is that we looked for a 2-bedroom apartment, found one in the same development, and there were still enough applicants because they just opened it. You could put another application for this studio if you want to rent it. So it's not, as Tony Robbins mentions, it's not your lack of resources that's holding you back, it's your resourcefulness. So my resourcefulness and the Kiyosaki mindset, how can I solve this problem? We thought, and we asked family and friends, can we borrow money to get to this 2-bedroom? Now, I don't want to be inconvenienced. I don't want to inconvenience people. So I wanted to make sure that the banks were offering only 3% return on your money. So I offered 7% on your money. We just increased the loan, paid everybody back right away. They got 7%. They're happy, but I have now the asset, the 2-bedroom apartment. So within a short period of time, we had 2 studio apartments that were rentals, 1 2-bedroom apartment, and we fast forward 26 years. We have paid approximately 4 to 5 mortgage payments on the 2 studios, which we still have. We have a property manager who oversees any issues locally. And then my job is to look for opportunities. What markets are moving? What markets are growing? That's what I'm focused on. So what am I doing on the sidelines here? I'm working on multiple courses currently. I'm working on a beginner trading course, an intermediate trading course, and an advanced trading course, because I've seen a lot of trash online and on the internet and on YouTube in terms of how to learn how to trade. And I also want to offer some of these on Patreon as well. So I'm working on this. And I'm also working on a real estate course that how I found my properties initially, and I continue to do so. And I want to share that as well. So I hope you have a great day. Hope I added some context for you and some content that's good, and just showing you how sometimes you don't have to have a game plan. Sometimes you stumble upon items, and how you use your resourcefulness and how you use your mind to find resourcefulness and as well as look for opportunities.